So the Chicago Bears just quietly made a pretty big change. And I want to talk about something that's kind of being lost in the shuffle here. And it was provoked by a conversation with some friends last night, Lions and Packers fans, by the way. And we are going through the coaches in the division. And I was told repeatedly that Coach Flus is, I quote, a terrible coach. And I'm going to go through one way that he's been shedding that moniker. It's being done in a huge way, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute. But it involves Coach Eberflus evolving before our eyes, and it's really encouraging to witness. It also got me thinking, what constitutes a good coach? Is it X's and O's? Is it win-loss? I mean, everybody has their own opinion. I don't think Coach Flus is the best in the league, but I do believe that he's an absolutely exceptional leader of men. We've got a team morale. We've got a huge sea change as far as culture. It's beyond reproach right now. And much of that can be attributed to Coach Flus and how he brings guys together. And there were some meltdowns last year on his watch. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This isn't a puff piece. But there's been a ton of credit lately given to offensive coordinator Shane Waldron for his gameplay adjustments, how great the offense has looked since that players meeting, and he's adjusted. And I think you'll share with me, I'm happy he's our offensive coordinator now. And I think if I'm able to do that, I should be able to apply the same thing to Coach Flus in one area. Is he evolving? It's looking at how these games are being finished off, and that's going to kind of get to the quick of it. Coach Eberflus is no longer adhering to his conservative nature, and instead he's changing his style to a more aggressive approach. I, for one, am noticing, and I'm Sean. This is Sports Talk Bears. Hey, if you get a second, hit the subscribe button. It blesses us more than you could ever know as we move towards 10,000 subscribers. I'd love to have you a part of this family. So let's look at it as Bears fans. We definitely don't want to have a staff fired, new scheme installed, new personnel, absolutely no stability for our rookie quarterback. We really need this to work. Every single successful team doesn't just keep firing and starting over. So, Coach Flus, he has this defense among the best in the NFL. I'm going to argue at times, I think it might be the best in the NFL. I think this might be historically a good defensive squad. But man, he was falling into what a defensive mind coach typically does in the past, right? Get a lead, trust your defense, run the rock, protect the ball. And the guys at Sports Mockery, they talk through this a bit, and this provokes some of this as well. If you're laser focused on the defense, you want to keep them fresh, right? But in the modern game, it kind of means taking the foot off the gas if you do that. And we know as Bear fans that can get you into trouble. I think it got us into trouble a lot over the 4 games that we melted down at the end of the game. And I want to hold Flus accountable for that. But moving forward, looking at Flus, he was following a pattern of coaches in the past, like Lovey, like John Fox. Get a lead, sit on it. Ground and pound, right? But I love what we're seeing right now. Just like players evolve and improve, moving away from problematic tendencies, right? Our coaching staff, they're doing it too. They're growing, and it's being led by Coach Flus. And the Bears have made a huge change this year. They're operating like an offensively focused team when they have a lead. So looking at this chart, if you guys check this out, the Bears are now one of the most aggressive passing teams in the NFL with a lead. And this is according to this metric. It's a pass rate over expected metric applied to when a team leads on the scoreboard. So really simple, right? Who would have thought, huh? No one's covering the sea change in philosophy that Coach Flus is embracing it. And I want to call attention to it. And it could also signal another thing. He is fully giving the offense over to offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. He has the absolute green light to keep the foot on the gas. That in itself is a sea change because before that definitely was not happening. And just these changes, not only by the players evolving, but by the coaches actually evolving, it is an actual huge, huge thing. So to kind of get back to it, maybe it's actually having a quarterback that they trust implicitly. That might be it. And let's kind of look at what the offense is doing here. this ChicagoBears.com story, it kind of does a by the numbers thing weekly. And it's just a really cool thing. It lends a really broad perspective on what's actually happening with this team. So kind of to borrow from this a little bit, what this offense is doing. And I'm going to share numbers and then I'll go through what is actually happening. So the first number is 79.3. And that's Caleb Williams' completion percentage. And since 1970, that's the best that a Bears rookie has ever done. We're breaking like some molds here. And the number one pick in the draft, he connected on 23 of 29 passes for 226 yards and 4 touchdowns. And then also in the process, he became the NFL's first rookie quarterback since 2000. It's not just Bears stats and Bears records because they're not very good, right? He's the first rookie quarterback since 2000 to pass for at least 210 yards and 4 touchdowns with a completion percentage as well of 75 in a game. So that in itself, I mean, maybe they actually have a quarterback that they trust to actually air out the ball with a lead. Maybe that's it. But I want to give Coach Flus credit for really evolving in this respect. I think we got to give him kudos for this. You're looking at the number 124.4. That's just this Saturday. That is the passer rating of our rookie quarterback, which is absolutely insane. It's the second highest by a Bears rookie since 1970. I might just stop sharing team-specific records because, I mean, if you set your goals low, you're going to reach them, right? But the only better Bears mark came last weekend. That's when Williams posted a 126.2 rating against Carolina. And we're looking at more franchise things. 68 years since the Bears last scored at least 5 offensive touchdowns in back-to-back games in the same season. Like, that's an incredible thing. So encouraging. 5 touchdowns Sunday, 5 touchdowns last weekend. And obviously that was against the Panthers and just now the Jags. And then we're also looking at another sea change. These 5 touchdowns in London. That's on a span of 6 possessions beginning in the second quarter. Score after score after score after score. This is really a sea change. Maybe this is why the coaching staff is trusting our offense more. And we're looking at this the first time in 18 years that the Bears have won back-to-back games by at least 19 points. And that's absolutely incredible. We beat the Panthers by 26, the Jags by 19. Man, this is just so much fun what we're seeing. And it's been 11 years since the Bears last scored at least 35 points in back-to-back games. And that's like an incredible stat. And that's going way back. I'm not even going to go through how far back that was. And just the Bears are aggressive holding leads now as opposed to last year. There's no sitting on the lead. There's no ground and pound. There's no conservative, outdated approach. Offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, he has the green light to keep the foot way down on the gas. We're seeing the results here. And it's also giving us a way to more rapidly develop our rookie quarterback. And Caleb Williams, he's looking like one of the good ones. And we have the personnel to do this style now. Plus, we now have a revamped coaching style that's going to provide the freedom to, like our offensive coordinator, provide the freedom to our players to actually keep going hard on teams as we have a lead, as we progress deeper into the game. The freedom is there now to do it and really showcase what we have on offense instead of stunting it with an outdated approach, with an overly conservative coaching method, with an outdated playbook. We are now running a modern NFL offense with a play caller that is showing. He is showing now that he is willing to adapt his scheme. He's willing to adapt even the way that he scripts plays before games. And he's also willing to adapt really to his personnel. And that's just a really great thing to see, coupled with a head coach. Sure, he's had his faults. Sure, he did not do a bang-up job last year with the meltdowns over those 4 games, but a lot of that was due to an overly conservative approach. A lot of that was due to him having his hands all over the offensive game plan because Luke Getsy was just absolutely inept. Now he is evolving as a coach. He is evolving in the way that he leads this team. And I think that's a really good thing. And couple that with the way that he leads these men into battle, the way he brings this locker room together, the culture that we have, even extending on to Hard Knocks. It's like, you know what? We're going to have a Hard Knocks show that we're not going to use profanity, and we're going to put our best step forward as a franchise. Even that is something new. And a lot of that stems not only from the management, but from also the type of man that Coach Flus is. He is a man that you want to follow. And to me, that makes you not a terrible coach. It actually makes you a pretty good coach. He just has to learn how to properly continue to put the game plans, put the offensive decisions into the hands of Coach Waldron, concentrate on calling these absolutely fantastic defensive game plans, and then just managing everything well. And I think we're going to see more and more good results as the season goes by. I know you guys are going to leave. You're probably going to destroy me in the comments. I'm probably going to get so many comments that like Coach Flus is terrible, da, 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 da. I get it. I just want to live in the now and have some recency bias and see the way that this man is evolving in his approach and what he's doing with this ball club. And I think it's hear me now? Okay. I think it's great to see how this coach is evolving and how the team's evolving with him and how he is starting to grow as a coach. We love when players grow. I think it's a really good thing when you see your coaches growing as well. And you guys let me know in the comments. And bear down. You've been so loyal watching this channel, and we've been able to grow it in a short time. I appreciate you all, and we'll talk soon. See you.